Boys and girls, please write your first name, last name, and date at the bottom of your Scholastic News. A cup of cheer. On chilly winter day, nothing warms you up better than a cup of hot cocoa. What's the history of this sweet treat? Please write your first name, last name, and date at the bottom of your Scholastic News. The history of hot chocolate. As you read, think about how hot chocolate has changed over the years. A cup of cocoa is creamy, super sweet, and hot. Well, that's the way it is today, anyway. You may be surprised to learn how much this yummy drink has changed since it was invented. Spicy, but not hot. The first people to drink chocolate did it more than 2,000 years ago. They lived in the places we now call Mexico and Central America. They used the beans of the cacao tree. They crushed the beans and mixed them with water. They put in chili powder to make this drink spicy. Honey made it a bit sweet, but the drink was still very bitter. It was not as sweet as it is today, and people often drank it cold, not hot. A fancy treat. By the 1600s, the drink spread to Europe. People added new ingredients. They used sugar for sweetness and cinnamon for spice. At this point, hot chocolate was very expensive. Only rich people could afford it. They went to restaurants called chocolate houses to drink their hot cocoa. A worldwide hit. In the 1800s and 1900s, hot chocolate became less expensive. It was a big hit around the world. Its flavor changed. People mixed it in milk instead of water. They took out the spices and added more sugar. The drink was creamy and very sweet. Today, you can try your cocoa in many different ways. Mix melted chocolate with milk for a creamy treat. Stir powdered mix into water for a hot drink on the go. Top it with marshmallows, whipped cream, or a candy cane. And if you're feeling spicy, add chili powder to it, just like the first chocolate drinkers did all those years ago. By Blair Rainsford. Hot chocolate through the years. 2,000 years ago, the drink was cold and very bitter, not hot and sweet. This chocolate cup is about 1,300 years old. The 1600s. Rich people went to chocolate houses for their cocoa. They drank it out of fancy cups and pots like this. 1800s and 1900s. It wasn't just for the rich anymore. People could buy tins of it in the store. Today, there are so many ways to drink hot chocolate. How do you like yours? Yummy states of matter. There are 3 main states of matter. Read the chart, then answer the questions about more yummy matter. Solid. A solid keeps its shape when it's put into a container. A bar of chocolate is a solid. Liquid. A liquid flows and takes the shape of its container. Hot chocolate is a liquid. Gas. A gas spreads out and fills the space around it. Steam is a gas. Question 1. You pour milk into hot chocolate. Milk flows and takes the shape of the cup. Milk is a solid, liquid, or gas. Question 2. You blow on your hot chocolate. Your breath spreads out into the air. Your breath is a solid, liquid, or gas. Question 3. You pick up a candy cane. The candy cane is hard. It keeps its shape. A candy cane is a solid, liquid, or gas. Question 4. You melt a bar of chocolate in the microwave. It takes the shape of the bowl. Melted chocolate is a solid, liquid, or gas. Use the chart above about what a solid, a liquid, and gas is to help you answer those 4 questions.
The sweet story of chocolate. Chocolate's unique flavor and smooth texture make it the world's most loved candy. But where does chocolate come from? Chocolate's main ingredient is the cocoa bean, which comes from cocoa plants grown on farms in countries near Earth's equator. The beans are found inside the football-shaped fruits that grow on the cocoa tree. These fruits are called cocoa pods. Each pod contains about 40 seeds that are more purple than brown. The seeds, though, are too bitter to eat. When the pods are ripe, farmers carefully pick them. Once the pods have been harvested, the farmers use big knives to break them open and collect the cocoa beans. Skilled pod breakers can crack up to 500 pods in an hour. The harvested beans are piled together. Then they are covered with banana leaves. Under the leaves, tiny organisms that can't be seen without a microscope, called microbes, cause chemical reactions that help create the first hint of a chocolatey flavor. This process also turns the purple beans to a rich brown color. Then the beans are dried. They are spread out in the sun for a few days. The beans lose their moisture. This makes them weigh half as much. Once the beans are dry, farmers collect them in large burlap sacks. Each sack can weigh as much as 200 pounds. These sacks are then shipped to chocolate makers around the world. At their destinations, the beans are cleaned, roasted, and ground into a liquid paste called chocolate liquor. Then the liquid is slowly heated and cooled, making it thicker and smooth. This paste is then mixed with other ingredients, like sugar and milk. When the chocolate's texture and taste are just right, it can be poured into molds to make candy bars and other chocolate treats. What is one thing you learned about how chocolate is made? Talk about it. See you soon.
Now you are going to make your own cup of cocoa. My cup of cocoa. Imagine you are making your own cup of cocoa. Answer the questions. Question 1. What ingredients would you use to make your cup of cocoa? Think about the ingredients that were used in your Scholastic News throughout the years. What would you use? Make sure you have a full sentence. I would use, and if it's something like sugar or milk, use your Scholastic News to help you with those words. Question 2. Describe how your cocoa drink would taste. My cocoa drink would taste minty, sweet, chocolatey, spicy. Think of how you want your drink to taste. Question 3. Who would you share your cup of cocoa with? Who would you share your cocoa with? Could be a family member, could be a friend, could be your favorite teacher. I'm just saying. Who would you share your cocoa with? Question 4. What toppings would you add? So think about all the things you can top your cocoa with. You could use whipped cream. Maybe you want to do crushed candy canes. Maybe you want to do chocolate chips. Maybe you want to do some marshmallow fluff. Maybe you want to do marshmallows. Think of all of the things you could put on top of cocoa and give a drawing up on top. And if you want to add a little bit of color, like if you're using candy canes, crushed candy canes on top of whipped cream, add some little red splecks. Okay? Love to see what your cup of cocoa that you come up with.